of the DSA Roundtable. You know how we bring it. And today we're bringing heat. Today we got some breaking topics on Detroit Lions football. And I know you guys are going to be happy to be able to talk about these topics on today that we have for you guys. So the show is going to be juicy. So make sure you get your popcorn. Make sure you get your drinks. And we're going to get it in today. I got with me today my main man, the heart of the city, 313 J-Mo. What's up, J-Mo?
What's good, y'all? What's good, man? What I say, Bob Quinn is a master chef in this boy.
And he just gonna keep cooking, y'all. Okay. Also, I got with me the man, the myth, the legend, no other than himself, the hotter than the microwave, MicroMike.
Hey, what's up, Mike? We are about to get it, folks. It's going to be a good one. So let the fire begin.
And last but not least, the field general himself, who's out there saying hootie hoo to the people out there. My main man, Luke G. Where you at, Luke?
What up, though, people, man? Glad to be back. Short week, but glad to be back. Let's get this thing going.
What's up, guys, man? Welcome, guys, to another show on today. As we get ready to get it down on this podcast. Juicy topic first for the Detroit Lions. We have Mr. Zack Zenner. Zack Zenner was released and cut on today. And basically, guys, I got some questions. I want to know, how do you guys, what you guys thinking about Zack Zenner? So first take on that, Zack Zenner being released, I want to talk with MicroMike. What you got to say to the people, Mike?
First off, I want to say, what up, though, Evan? What up, though, James Holyfield? What up, though, Brad Beard? Welcome to the show. And when it comes to Zack Zenner, first off, man, it was a shocker for this to actually happen today. The funny thing was I was making a video, and as soon as I released the video, Zack Zenner then got released. So what up, though, Stephen A. Smith? And so
he said, as soon as I released the video, he got released.
Hey, Zack Zenner, look, hey, Zenner, if you listen, don't take that as a shot. That's not a shot, Zenner.
Motor City Thanos, man, you must have snapped that finger and Xander got kicked off there. So it's not a shocker that he got released, because you got to think about this, folks. This is something that we've been talking about throughout the whole offseason, is the fact that Bob Quinn has put so much depth around this team that we all knew good players, people that we like, were going to get released. And I think, what up, Doe One Pride? What up, Doe Alex C? I think that with the emergence of Mark Thompson, the younger back, with the emergence of all these players on the team, maybe they do want to go 4 tight ends. Maybe they want to go 6 wide receivers. Maybe there is a dark horse in there that they feel that can make the team, and they believe that Zack Zenner was not better fit for what they're going to run compared to what they could keep on their team when it comes to all the positions like tight end, wide receiver, or running back, the individual they think that can make the team, like Mr. Thompson himself.
Yes. That sounds, it had to be, being able to have Mark Thompson on the team and being able to have guys like Ty Johnson. It made guys expandable, and it made guys, it made the Lions really do their homework and say, hey, we're ready to have some new running backs in the backfield. We think that we had Theo for a long time. We had Zach for a while, for 4 seasons. And Theo, I think, between 6 and 7 seasons. So Lions to go in a different direction. What's your take on that, J-Mo? What do you got to say about Zack Zenner being released on today? Was that a surprise to you?
It definitely was a surprise. It's a lot of mixed emotions. First, I got to say to my boy Zack Zenner, man, we will always miss you, Zack Zenner, Double Z, the Great White Thunder. Because I don't think he's coming back unless somebody gets hurt. And I'm not going to bank on that. But it is surprising because Zack Zenner, we knew a lot of people would be released, as Mike said. But I will say Zack Zenner is one of the people that everyone was saying was staying on the team. And I remember when we were talking, I think it was the second or coming into the 3rd preseason game, I brought up Mark Thompson, and I was just saying, I'm like, he looks so good. I don't see how he doesn't make the team. So that's what I was thinking. I'm like, he just looks too good. He's going to make the team. I was like, I don't know what the Lions are going to do. Releasing Zack Zenner, I'm considering his versatility, so they value him there. So I thought he had a little bit more clout, a little bit more cachet with the Lions with everything that he's done, because Zack Zenner has been nothing but productive.
Right.
4 yards per in his career here. I don't know any Lions running back in the last 15 years that averaged 4 yards per carry for their career and they actually got carries. But so he was solid, he was productive. But like I said in my video on Zack Zenner, in life, man, it sometimes people come along and they just better than you. And when that happens, it happens in every walk of life, every job. If somebody comes along and they just better, or they have more potential, or and they showing something, showing a little bit more spark than you, you get replaced. And it happens all the time. Sadly, it happened to my boy Zack Zenner because I like Mark Thompson and I like him if we keep him on this team, and I like him on this team for the future. And maybe this means Nick Baldwin makes the team and we keep 4 tight ends now.
Wow, yeah. So, all right, Luke, what's your take? Luke, what's your take on the release of a fan favorite in Zack Zenner? You know, a lot of people really was high on Zack Zenner, really like Zack Zenner, and like what he brought to the table. He's been on the Lions a couple times. They've released him and cut him and brought him back. But this time, do you think that this the door to Zack Zenner is finally going to be closed and that chapter is done with? So, what do you got to say about that, Luke?
I mean, to me, I think that that this is not a shocking cut at all, to be honest with you. I thought he was going to get cut for a number of reasons. There was a lot of evidence to support it. And this is not something that you look at and say, oh, it's not as makes room for Mark Thomas. He's not making the team either. So, this move was made for a number of reasons. The number one reason was he had just got accepted into medical school to be a surgeon. And the NFL has taken a turn towards keeping players who are scholars and trying to still play football. The same thing happened to the safety from the Tennessee Titans from Florida State. I'm drawing a blank on his names. But when he was going to school to be a surgeon, they told him, man, go focus on school because you can't do that and do football.
Right.
Zack Zenner certainly is going to be that. That was part of it. The other part of it that let me know he was going to get cut was they didn't really utilize him a lot in preseason. I thought that was very odd. And then on top of that, I noticed at the people who they were giving a lot of the playing time to, the Mark Thomas and the Ty Johnson. Well, what this tells me is this. And then they picked up some other free agent running backs that told me that they were going to exit him out because they want him to focus on school. I mean, so that's the first thing that I looked at. Then on top of that, I looked at it and I said, if there was ever a person that they were going to move on, it wouldn't be because of Mark Thompson, but because of the versatility that comes from one Ty Johnson. Here's a guy who's shown that he can catch the ball out the backfield. He can run hard. He can be patient. He can show speed. He can show burst. He can show vision. He can show cutback abilities. He showed this versatility, and then I could throw him on kick and punt return. With Zack Zenner, I get a north and south runner. I don't get anything outside of the north and south runner. And so that right there is why I felt this was going to happen and why I'm not surprised by the move.
Yeah, you
still think Mark Thompson not making the team though.
No, he's not making the team. You have to understand that with the injury that came
to 3 running backs is what you're saying.
Yes,
we'll see.
Yes, wow. Yeah, because you said it yourself. If they carry the 4th tight end, they certainly got to carry an extra offensive lineman with Frank being out for at least a week or two, and then you certainly got to carry an extra linebacker with Jerry Davis being out. So that in and of itself puts the clamps on them having a 3 running back set. So to me, I don't the plan was to carry 4, but the injuries changed the game plan. And when game plans change,
I think Ryan will be back though.
Well, he will. But I think at the end of the day, Zack Zenner, is somebody who they know he's going to school. So they're trying to let him focus on that. But if push kind of shove, they'll bring him back. It's no shocker there because they know what they got in him.
I was about to say they'll bring Zack Zenner back any opportunity you have a chance to.
Anytime they want him back, they just bring him back.
Like somebody get hurt, Zack Zenner is the guy we're gonna call. We all know. We just gotta hope that another team don't try to get him.
Yeah, that's the only
thing. That's the hard part.
Data Boy said in the chat. He says, Data Boy said this is in the chat, guys. He says, does Zack Zenner still get his money though? At MicroMike, do you think Zack Zenner still gets the money?
the current contract that he was just released from, that Zack Zenner would get his money?
Yeah, he ain't getting no money. What you thought?
It's not.
What you thought, man? He ain't getting none of that money, man. He getting the pennies on the dollar.
Absolutely, man.
That boy probably was thinking that because Andrew Luck, he's gonna be getting his money. So he probably felt like, hey, Zach should get his money too.
They had to do a special deal with him to give him his money or whatever. That got a lot of Lions fans up in arms, but that's later on in the show. But with Zack Zenner, I just feel like he was productive. So if we ever need him, he'll come back. But I don't have a problem with 3 running backs because I want to see a lot of Ty Johnson. So,
right. And you are going to see a lot of him. I mean, you figure our scat back is going to be probably
Ty Johnson is going to make Kerryon even better just because of the matchup thing. People, they're not going to understand how to have to deal with Ty Johnson when you have to deal with Kerryon. They ain't going to be able to do nothing.
Well, I think what you're going to start to see is you're going to see a push and a change in direction where the Lions are going to say we want to be able to have a change of pace in all 3 phases of the run game, and that you'll get that having that other guy. But I think those 2 injuries put them a little pause. So it's going to be some linemen that was probably on the roster bubble who's going to get a chance to hang on until our guys get healthy.
Now, hold on. Let me say this right quick, Jamo. Now some people in the chat, Luke, is not agreeing with you as far as with the the Mark Thompson thing. Some of these people think that Mark is going to be on his team, and you're feeling indifferent about that. You're feeling that Mark Thompson is going to be on the squad still. I mean, not going to be on the squad, and some people are feeling that he is.
Well, my question would be, just look at the evidence of it all. If you're carrying 4 running backs, what are you going to do with Mark Thompson? How are you mixing him into a running game along with Ty, along with CJ, and along with Kerryon? Kerryon's getting majority of the touches. CJ gonna get the second most, and then they're gonna go to a guy who can kind of mix it up in the backfield. There haven't been no formations where they had Kerryon and Mark Thompson in the backfield. It's been Kerryon and CJ or CJ and Ty, and then on top of it, we have those other injuries that they have to have people, there to cover in case we don't get those guys back, even though we know they're coming back from high ankle sprains. It's just one of them things where I don't think we really understand that the concept of it. They're not going to carry that 4th running back and he doesn't bring versatility. We're more likely to carry a 4th tight end before we carry that 4th running back at this point.
Let me jump on to this as well. And what I've noticed in preseason is a lot of fullback. Nick Bawden was on the field with 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings a lot. So I would not be shocked if he makes the team, the fullback, Mr. Nick Bawden. Again, if you paid attention, that dude was in there blocking for the backs a lot in the last couple of games. So just to pay attention to him and see if he is the guy that they decide to keep on for that extra back in the backfield.
Wow. Okay. That sounds good. Now, George Morgan says he will get his roster and workout bonus. So that I guess he pertaining that to Zack Zenner will get that money.
Because what happens is Zach. Here's the thing, y'all gotta understand something. Zack Zenner still gets a signing bonus, so that part of it is going to be given to him. But I think what they did was they wanted to make sure because they knew that he was going to school to be a surgeon. Right. And what better way than to invest in somebody than to say, hey, we give you this last little check, because his contract, it doesn't hurt the Detroit Lions in a way that they can't keep it up. However, I can see the scenario where he keeps that bonus money. Plus, they freed up $3 million with the contract for Snacks Harrison. So these little things are giving them money. But again, cap casualties are going to happen. And Zack Zenner going to school to be a surgeon was just the latest one.
Yeah.
Top tier says Thompson is CJ backup, so you have a big back in case of injury. Well, I'll just say, like I said, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
If there's a 4th running back, it's the fullback. I mean, you're only asking for a power back, right? That's what you're asking for, is a power back. And if there's going to be a fourth back, it'll be the fullback, because he can play tight end, which they've used him at, and he can play fullback, which they've used him at, and he can play running back, which they've used him at. So if you don't bring that versatility, it's going to be some problems.
Here's the deal when it comes to Mark Thompson, though. If he doesn't make the team, I think the idea is them to throw him on practice squad.
Yep.
But in my opinion, he has a lot of talent, and I think teams would poach him.
No, he's already played too well in the preseason, especially in his fourth game. He's going to play well again.
And I was talking to Luke G off camera and off the radio earlier, and we were talking about where Zack Zenner could go. And one place he was talking about was the Texans. So if they decide the Texans need to get a running back, for Mark Thompson would be an ideal fit for the Texans there, simply because Lamar Miller just went down for the year. So you got to pay attention. If they think they're going to just stash him on the practice squad and no team's going to notice him, I think that's a failed strategy, but they could attempt to do so.
So that is a good question. Go ahead, guys. Let's go ahead.
No, Motor City Thanos was saying he's not gonna make it to practice squad. Yeah, I don't think, like I said, unless Mark Thompson doesn't get playing time in the fourth game or plays bad, he's one of them players that will be signed as soon as the preseason and he gets released. He's a solid back. So, he's not gonna be there. Zack Zenner has a higher chance of being around than Mark Thompson does, in my opinion.
I just think when we look at Mark Thompson, it really does boil down to Mark Thompson having more versatility than just being a straight north and south runner with a little bit more speed. He has to show more. Maybe if he's a blocking back, or he was good at the catching up the backfield, or he was good on special teams, that's cool. But that fourth running back almost never really gets in the game unless it's an injury, and they generally do a lot of their work on special teams. I don't remember seeing Mark Thompson on special teams too often. You know, just saying.
And if he wasn't on special teams a lot, then that's
seen weirder things happen. Like Deion Green wasn't gonna make the team and end up making the team. So we'll just see. We'll see what he does.
But Deion Green made the team at a time where the Lions, were still in the rebuilding.
You never know what's gonna happen. If he go out and get 100 yards and the touchdown, then even if it's the fourth preseason game, they're gonna be like, maybe we should hold on to him. So I'll wait and see on that.
I mean, the Lions cut David Fales to bring in an unknown commodity, and he had a good game.
But honestly, Lions could have brought in any of them.
I gotta stop Melvin Drew. Kind of profound. I kind of like what he said. Melvin Drew said, married to players as fans, you got to keep the best talent possible. Loyalty can get you fired. I love that.
And that's what happened to Jim Schwartz.
Shout out to Melvin Drew. Shout out to everybody in the chat. General G. Barry, also Andrew, and Shannon K. All you guys. Shout out. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, shout out to Shannon K. What's up, everybody? What's up, top tier? What's good, man?
Yeah, I mean, to me, what Melvin Drew points out is exactly what happened to Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz literally had all this loyalty to people that he shouldn't have had loyalty to, and they got him fired. And I think that's the problem. He had loyalty to players. I don't fall in love with the players. I love football first. So I tell people all the time, when I see a player, I don't get caught up in it. And plus, I'm just pointing out that I'm telling you, and I see Top Tier make the point too, saying, talking about Zenner on special teams and Thompson. I'm telling you, the injury of Frank Ragnow and Jared Davis means we're keeping an additional offensive lineman and an additional linebacker. And so that tells me that a running back is not staying on this roster. And then on top of that, they like what they have in tight ends like Isaac Nada, and stuff, but Isaac Nada is not even close to being a lot. They might like Jerome a little bit better. I'm just pointing out that it's not about the game.
Kennedy's look good too.
And that's the thing. At least open up the phone lines. All right, the phone lines are coming back, man. Let me just be clear. The phone lines are coming back. I just had a baby, so I've been out. So but the phone lines are coming back straight up. Believe that straight up. So
okay, it looked like
but go
Shannon
ahead,
K had a
Michael.
question. Shannon K said, "Is Agnew going to are saying they may have Ty to do it?" So what you guys think about that, J-Mo?
Before we get to that, man, we got 45 people in the chat. We only got like 11 or 12 likes. Come on, guys, let's get these likes up. We got to get these likes up. Make sure you guys like the video. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to our channels, man. And on Jamal Agnew, no, I don't know why. We'll see what happens with him too. He could be one of the players that is cut, but he is not. He's too talented at his position, and Ty Johnson is unproven. We haven't seen him return kicks in months. So we don't really know what to do in that area. And Jamal Agnew is still pretty good in that area. So he's the best returner on the team. He's the best returner on the team. And if Ty Johnson is going to be my running back, I don't want him returning kicks if he doesn't have to. To take that extra punishment because Agnew, unless it's an injury, he won't be playing in the slot cornerback because he's like this, slot cornerback 2 or 3. So
to get rid of Agnew would be horrible in my opinion. The guy is multi-dimensional. He can play obviously offense, he can play defense, and obviously special teams. He is a dynamic playmaker. When you have a dynamic playmaker such as a Jamal Agnew, you do not release him. He can be utilized in so many different ways. He is a darn good asset to the special teams. Yeah. How do you help Matthew Stafford out? You get him good field position. And what can Jamal Agnew do? He gets good field position. Why is he good on offense? Because he's a mismatch. He's super fast. He can do those jet sweeps. He can do the type of plays that gives defenses headaches. What if we have an injury in the secondary? Jamal Agnew can do that as well. We have to keep him. He is a fantastic player, and he's electric at the same time.
I just want Lions fans to know he's the best returner on the team, and it's not even close. I'm just being 100 about it. It's not even close.
Yeah, we gotta keep Agnew on this team. You know what I'm saying? I know some people think that he might be, he can be cut, but I just think that we need speed on this team. That's
I remember it's some people out there that really think he's gonna get cut. I'm like, I understand, but after seeing Jamal Agnew from the scrimmage to the preseason, like he's the best returner on the team. Like I said, it's not even close. Like honestly, at this point, and we haven't seen Ty Johnson do any of that.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, man. When people say Agnew is getting cut, and I asked them this question, I say, well, who's going to be the returner? Or it's going to be Ty, and then who? Danny Amendola? You putting them out there? Who? Powell? Who you putting out there? See, this is the thing I understand.
All right.
When you start talking about we cutting people, who we replacing them with? This is just like the age-old conversation about Stafford. Get rid of Stafford, and then put in who?
All right.
So to me, with Agnew, because he is so good at the special teams, he's got more safe ability than a lot of other players. I haven't seen nobody in preseason kill it in special teams, and I've seen a few people get a shot.
Yeah.
So to me, I just don't see that happening.
Absolutely. Look, Jamal Agnew, what is the type of players that Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia really value? Players that are multi-dimensional, players that can play different positions. Look what happened with Ragnow. He went down. Luckily, we had a Glasgow that actually played center before, and so it's less stress on the offensive line. If we have injuries to the defense, the secondary, if we don't have Jamal Agnew, he can be thrown in there. He's not a one-trick pony, just like Melvin Drew said. He can be utilized in so many different factions, and that is something that Bob Quinn values a lot. So I do not see him getting released.
Like a lot of Lions fans keep thinking we this same old regime, and what I mean is you got to let players develop. Because what I seen of Jalen Reeves, Maven, and Killebrew this year compared to 2 years ago, like Jamal Agnew is still young. You got to give him time to develop as a cornerback. And we don't know how good he'll be next year or in the future. And like I see that the Lions can develop players. That's what I'm starting to see. So you can't just, you got to let them develop. So and I think same thing with Tracy Walker and Killebrew. So I think Agnew will be able to fill in if the time arose. And he's definitely improved as a corner since last year. So that's all I'm really focusing on.
Yeah, that's
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
that's so true.
I mean, again, it just boils down to well, I like that question right there from Blue and Silver Phantom. I'm gonna answer that one in a minute.
Okay.
But again, it's just one of the things where, like I said, you have to be able to understand everybody has a role this year. There is no more just picking up the player. It's about scheme fit, talent that matches scheme fit. And if we don't have the talent that matches the scheme fit, it's just not gonna happen. Those two injuries opened up the doors from some other people, just like Andrew Luck retiring, opened up the door to Jacoby Brissett, and now another quarterback to be his backup.
Exactly.
That's what happens.
Yeah,
That's
if the Lions got rid of Agnew, that would be a same old Lions move. I'm sorry.
Now, Blue and Silver Phantom says, "Hey, Luke G, is there anybody released from another team you would like to get?" I think that if the Minnesota Vikings release Alexander McKenzie, he would be one. The cornerback, I think the wide receiver that they have had the hardest time trying to find a way to get him the ball. Treadwell would be another one from the Vikings. If you go to teams like the New England Patriots, they have a number of offensive linemen like Cars. Who else I can think of? If you go to the Eagles, I believe that the Eagles are going to release a safety. So yeah, I got quite a few people that I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna do a video about it. So stay tuned. You'll be able to check it out and see those guys that I got that the Lions will have a hard look at. One of them just got released recently from the Green Bay Packers. Josh Jones, I think that's his name, a safety. Lions, I think, gonna get him a really good hard look, and it's because of the skill set he brings on special teams into the safety position, as well as being able to play cornerback.
I wanted to ask y'all, what do y'all think about Treadwell? Because, like, out of the players that you mentioned, I never thought about Treadwell. I think that would be a good move.
Yeah, I never thought about it.
But he never played with a quarterback as good as Stafford anyway.
No, and one of the problems with Treadwell is he's buried between so many other receivers, and I think he'll be buried here. But here's where the difference will come in at: we will have sets to get him the ball, and he can sit back and relax a little bit, knowing that okay, Curse ain't coming back next year, Amendola ain't coming back next year, so I got room to develop. So I can see him being there. Kevin White, the wide receiver that was recently released from the Arizona Cardinals, former first-round pick of the Bears, another guy. The Lions like big receivers. Now, he got an injury history.
Yeah, they always
but he's big.
I think Treadwell, though.
But, yeah, I think Treadwell is a huge one that they're looking at with the Vikings. There's a few other people I could think of. But, you know, it's just one of the things where
like what Elcott Production says, people thought Killebrew was getting cut before the linebacker switch. Yeah, I was one of them people because they wouldn't use him at linebacker like I've been telling them to do for 3 years. But
Well,
the
thing, Killebrew still might be on a bubble, believe it or not. And the reason I say that is because I believe, like I said, I believe it's going to be some people who are going to stay on this team until we get the full healthy Jared Davis back and a fully healthy Frank Ragnar back. So those types of moves could have saved his job, but he was one of my players that I had on the bubble, and I think it's still on the bubble.
Okay, guys, we're gonna go to another question out there for you people. So we're gonna go to Andrew Luck retired. Andrew Luck has retired and has gotten a report. If Stafford retire, he would be given that kind of support. I want to start with MicroMike. Mike, what do you think about this? Andrew Luck retiring and getting a great deal of support. And if Stafford was to retire, would he get that same support and praise?
Absolutely not from the Detroit Lions fans. They would jump on him like no other. That dude would get thrown.
Who are you telling, man?
That guy would be crucified. Then he would be having stakes through his heart so he wouldn't come back to life. They would think he's a vampire. The dude, they would go after him like no other, man. Absolutely no other. And even though if he decided to retire due to injury, the same type of issues that Andrew Luck did, I wouldn't be mad. The dude's been sacked over 300 times. He's had multiple shoulder surgeries, broken back, broken fingers. He's been through hell and back, and yet the fans treat him like absolute garbage.
Right. Right.
Well, I tell you, that's
you don't know when you got a good thing until it's gone.
Dude,
Yep, absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you this: the national media, everybody but the Lions fans is gonna be like, "You did well, Stafford." But the Lions fans, they gonna be trashing him to the day they die. They gonna be 50 years old, 60 years old, and Matthew Stafford went after Calvin Johnson quit 4 years before. I hate him. Like, you already know what's going on because Barry Sanders is the only one they didn't really bash. People went in on Calvin Johnson. They would man, they would be talking about Stafford for years and years to come because what's going to happen is after Stafford retires, all the rest of our quarterbacks are going to be trash. So it's just going to bring them back to bashing Stafford because they miss him. And I was one of the people when that stuff was going on with his wife. I thought he could retire, and I was very scared. I'm like, something bad happens or something. Stafford's gone, and it happens with Andrew Luck. And like, if he don't, like, Stafford can't retire without getting that playoff win, or Lions fans would never forgive him, even though they want to move on from him. You want him going.
Yep.
But playoff win, you were crucified. I mean, Andrew could be a darling anyway. But like I said, all the media outside of the Lions, Stafford probably had the most positive media on him ever. They would have been like, man, he carried that trash franchise for 10 years without a running game. It would be very hilarious how the media was spinning.
Without an O-line, all that good stuff.
The fans and our media would trash.
Now, I like what L. Kai Production said. He said people coming out and saying Luck didn't have a team around him and didn't have an O-line, but don't see Stafford going through the same thing. That is true, man.
Facts, bro. L. Kai got the comment of the day, bro. That's why I said y'all need to put L. Kai got the
Detroit Drew.
We got Drew in the building. That's what I was gonna say, man. You have to put respect on Matthew Stafford's Iron Man name, or Eli Manning Iron Man name, and Phillip Rivers Iron Man name, man. Put respect on their name, bro. Everybody ain't knowing this.
Well, I think what you're gonna see is this. I think what you're starting to see is national media picks and choose who they want to give praise to and who they don't. And what they tend to do is they tend to give praise to whoever they see fit. And people don't want to believe that. Every excuse they made for Andrew Luck, it's the exact thing that we've been saying for Matthew Stafford. All we've been told is he's still trash. Now, people want to argue, well, Andrew Luck made that. I said, wait a minute. Andrew Luck sometimes got sacked and got beat up on because Andrew Luck was trying to play smart and eat some of the sacks and take off and run. And sometimes, he was doing little things. I said, but he's had running backs. He's had the receiving core. He's had tight ends. He's had the defense. And when he didn't have those things, he didn't look all that great. And the numbers don't lie. People make up whatever they want to. The numbers don't lie. You go through and look at that span. Stafford, after the first 2 seasons where he got beat up and destroyed and killed, that guy, he got that urn fixed. He's been in every single game. He's done nothing but got better and better. His numbers have been out the door. And the first thing people want to talk about is, Andrew Luck had the playoffs games. I bet you he did when you got a head coach, when you got a run game.
Right, exactly.
And this is the thing that people don't understand. You got a run game and go with your defense, and you're a good quarterback, you're going to hurt some people's feelings. Go ask Drew Brees. Go ask Brad Johnson.
What about his play calling, too, offensively?
That's what I'm saying. They don't understand that. Yeah. And I saw this weird stat, man, where like in Drew, George Morgan just brought it up. They had this thing that said that the entire time that Andrew Luck played, he got sacked 174 times. Matthew Stafford got sacked 270 something times in that same time span.
246 times, something like that.
In that same time span, and that's just food for thought. And people they always want to talk about it, but at the end of the day, they don't even want to point out the simple fact of if Matthew Stafford retired, like Mike said, they'll be celebrating. You'll be seeing people out there celebrating, like, he gone, ding done, the witch is dead.
Right, but like I said, Lou, when we draft Joey Harrington and John Kitton, the Lions fans gonna be miserable. Oh yeah, we gonna get the first round pick, and we gonna pick right. Trevor Lawrence be right there, and Lions go select somebody from Auburn. Like, okay, y'all really trust them to get another quarterback right for the first time in 50 years?
I mean, right.
What I'm saying,
We had to be the worst team in the history of the NFL to even get
besides
that
the
right.
Browns, we're the worst quarterback picking team ever. Like,
I'm not even saying that. I'm saying we had to go 0-16 before we was even put in position to get it right. We got one pick. It was the first pick of the draft, and we took the quarterback. It was like a no-brainer.
Yeah, I feel like the Browns the same thing with Baker Mayfield. I'm not comparing him to Stafford, but he's gonna be better than any quarterback they've ever had. And they went 0-16 and they got him. So
it took the worst of the worst.
And with Andrew Luck retiring, what a big thing that should be sent out to our general manager and every other general manager in the NFL is the vital importance of the offensive line. You had a guy in Andrew Luck who's a very, very good quarterback, and you did not protect him, and now he has to retire early and young because his body is broken on him. So our general manager and everyone out there, now you know the importance of having a great offensive line, a good left tackle, a good right tackle, center, left and right guard. It's vital because
it's vital, man. We talked about it so many times.
Yep, your quarterback can be taken out at any time. And you could be put in a position right now the Colts are in which they just lost their franchise quarterback because they decided to not help out him with an offensive line.
And it don't just stop there. They waited one year too long to get that offensive lineman. I mean, and it took them to have a down year with him being hurt behind that offensive line. Look how many big name offensive linemen was in free agency. How many did they pick up? Like, here you are with a franchise quarterback.
Did they draft any linemen?
Well, they did. They drafted Quentin Nelson and a few of the other people on the team, but it was like a little bit too late at that point.
And look how dumb they are.
Yeah.
They have $100 million in cap space, and they didn't get anyone to help out that team.
Which is another point that I bring to when people.
Go ahead, Luke.
No, I'm saying it's one of the points that I brought to the table when people talk about, oh, well, the Colts are allowing Andrew Luck to keep his money. Yeah, they wasn't in cap hell. The Lions were. They, when they gave that contract to Calvin Johnson, they was in cap hell. So yeah, they need that money back.
Yep.
And they should have asked for it back.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Yeah, it was two different scenarios. It's the Colts situation and with the Lions. That's why money. We're good. We got all this money over here. We're going to end up eventually drafting another quarterback next season anyway.
But no, this is the main difference. The main difference is 3 years from now, Andrew Luck can come back to the NFL. Calvin was kind of like, he's gone. And he's still been gone. I don't picture him ever coming back. Andrew Luck, I feel like he might need, he's 29. I can see him coming back in 4 years and being like, okay, I'm okay now. Let me get this one more year and see what happens. So
I don't see that happening.
That window open, and if they pay him, maybe he stays with the Colts and don't go to another team because his contract could be up. You know what I'm saying?
I think you get that a little bit wrong, J-Mo, because even when he retires, he retires. But they still, if he decided to unretire, they still hold his contract. It's not like I retired. And then I unretired.
No, his contract could be up if he stays out for 4 years.
No, it doesn't, because he stopped the contract. When he stopped the contract in retirement, whatever's still left on it, they still have the rights to that. Just because that's
just like Calvin.
Right.
If Calvin comes back.
It's just like to kind of switch it up to music. When Prince figured out that he wasn't going to be, giving his publishing rights up, he changed his name to a symbol, right? Like, oh, okay, now good luck selling my product without it, right? And then he stayed that way until the contract expired. And then when the contract expired, they told him, well, no, you stopped it. So that's what he did. He ended up buying his publishing back. And then he went back to Prince because he knew that they still had the rights to him. It's the same thing in football. If you're under contract, like if Calvin Johnson, which he wanted to come back and be traded, they told him, hell no, because I'm not finna sit up there and pay you and then take a cap hit for you to want to move now. take the pay cut and we can talk about it. He didn't want the pay cut. Therefore, he stayed retired. And with Andrew Luck, he said something that's totally different than Calvin Johnson. He said he lost the love for the sport. It wasn't fun no more. That's why I stopped playing football. Once you get hurt and go through rehab and that pain, it ain't the same no more.
Yep. Yeah. I was going to piggyback off what you just said. You know, the reason why Andrew who wants to go through those rehabilitation and rehabbing your body? Look at the stuff that Andrew Luck has been through in his short span in the NFL, all these different surgeries, being out for a whole entire season. So it's like, who really wants to keep going through that? And I don't blame Andrew Luck for retiring and wanting to be able to walk when he's done with playing football.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
we see how okay, hold on, Jamal. We see how Calvin Johnson fingers look, his hand look. You know what I'm saying? So it's other players out there. I mean, I think the guy that played for the Bears, his hand looked like Calvin Johnson's too. The peanut guy, Tillman, his hand is like that too. So a lot of people are getting injured and walking away from the game, and they're being more smarter. That's why they want guaranteed money right now, is because they walking away hurting. These guys are hurt, man. Concussions and all these different things. These guys are hurting. That's why they're retiring so early. Go ahead, Jamal.
But you were just saying that you don't blame Luck for retiring. You understand, and why Stafford still.
Yeah, but see, they're two different type of people. You know what I'm saying? You know, another Stafford may have the mentality to want to stay out on the field when Andrew Luck is going through all the things he's going through, even though we didn't know last season that Matthew Stafford had a broken back until this season. We didn't even know. They kept that under the wraps. But then eventually the media talks about that Matthew Stafford was going through whatever he's going through. But now you have Andrew Luck, who you know about, who's been out there and saying, like, I'm dealing with these different injuries, and he just couldn't take it no more, man. And it just wore him out.
I could sense he's like, I just don't want to play no more. And the worst part about this whole situation, it's a culture where roster-wise better than they probably ever been since Andrew Luck's been there.
Yeah.
That's when he's like, you know what? I don't want to play no more. I'm tired of getting hurt. And it's probably with that last injury he got, like, they didn't know. They still don't really know what the injury is. He's been injured for months. And he's like, I don't even know what's wrong with me. So
Detroit Drew.
Shout out Big Take. What's up? Detroit Drew is in the house. Thanks, Drew. We appreciate
Detroit
you.
Drew just gave you $1.99. He said Stafford is the toughest SOB to ever play the game.
Hashtag facts.
Man,
shout out to Detroit Drew
all day long.
So Andrew, think about that? Andrew is just saying that our voices are going in and out. He's saying that it's still happening. Is anybody else having that problem? If so, please let us know so we can fix it. But Andrew is saying that our voice sounds wobbly.
Yeah, we're going in and out, guys.
Sounds good to me.
Let us know. Yeah, sounds good on my part. So, what's good, Big Take?
All right, Maestro, take it away.
Basically, just saying that, you know, a lot of these players, that's the reason why I got money right now, because they're walking away from the game hurting, whether they're dealing with all these different injuries, because we don't know the type of injuries that these players go through with their bodies, because, you know, football is a very physical and demanding sport. You're grappling with guys all day long through the whole game. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're running away from guys, or you're grabbing a guy, or you're trying to tackle somebody. So it's just physical all day long. So I understand Andrew Luck not being able to do it anymore. Sometimes your body just tells you you can't do it anymore. And I think that that's what is happening with Andrew Luck. His mind is saying that he wants to be out there, but his body is saying, no, you've been through too much, and we're going to shutting it down. We're going to call it a career. We're going to call it over. And he shocked a lot of people.
I think it's the reverse. I think his mind is saying that.
They said you going in and out, TA.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think his mind and his body, like, I'm good. No, you still going in and out.
Yeah, they said.
Hey, y'all gotta remember, TA is in Arizona, y'all. So it's a little bit different.
I don't think they knew that, man.
So y'all gotta remember he in Arizona. Right.
I'm just letting them know because a lot of people in the chat might not know that. Make sure you guys like the video. We got 50 people in here, man. We trying to get 50 likes or more, man. Make sure you like the video, guys.
Yeah, can you guys hear me now? Hopefully you can hear
Yep.
me good.
Yeah.
You're
Yep.
good.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear myself good.
All right,
All right,
Maestro.
let's go to the next topic.
Okay, let's go to the next topic. Since we dug in a little bit about that situation. It's week 4. Last week, 4 players on the bubble. Who do you think makes the 53-man roster on the bubble? And who's on the bubble? Who is the player that you want to see make this team? So I'm gonna start with MicroMike. Mike, who do you want to make this team, and who do you think that's on the bubble? And go ahead and take it away.
I believe there is a offensive lineman, a guard who is on the bubble, who I do want to make the team and ultimately does make the team. And that is a guy that I've been talking about even before the NFL draft. That is Wisconsin's guard, Bo Benchois. I think it's imperative to have strength on the offensive line. And I think Bo Benchois, being an undrafted free agent, he has a very high ceiling. And as long as he can continue to learn and adapt to the offensive line and to the scheme that's given to him, he can really go places years down the road, again, like we did with Terrell Crosby when we got him last year. So I think Bo Benchois is on the bubble, but I want him to make the team, and ultimately he does make the team.
Okay.
Not a bad pick there. Not a bad pick.
Okay, I'm gonna go next. A guy that this is very interesting, you know what I'm saying, because this is a person that is definitely probably on a bubble, but probably didn't get a fair shake due to injury. Tabor. Tease Tabor is going to be very. You can still elaborate on it. Tease Tabor is going to be very interesting because you know what? Tease Tabor training camp. He was doing really well in training camp, and we want to shot Tease Tabor out for that. But by him having that injury and not being able to go out there in the preseason, it looks like he'll be able to go out in this game. So if Tease Tabor happens to make this squad, which is going to be really, really hard, then either Matt Patricia or Bob Quinn, they're going to have some type of love and growth because they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt to make the team. And I just think that he could be on the bubble as well. So it's kind of hard with Tease because you have to give him an examination in this game against Browns. He's going to play a lot in that game, and they're going to see if they're going to keep Tease Tabor. So I definitely think that Tease Tabor is one of those guys that we have to be keeping our eyes on because he's been a part of the Lions for a couple final season so far. In this season right here, he's finally got time on his, and he's one of those guys that I could see really being. I hate to say it. All right, go ahead, Jamal.
The guy that's on the bubble that I think that'll make the team is we were just talking about him, Miles Killebrew. I like what I've seen from him, and I think he's been adapting and working hard, and it's starting to show. And I like his explosion. So he just has to, in his next preseason game, I feel as if he just has to play well in this game and be consistent, and he'll make the team. But Tease Tabor is the guy that I want to make the team. And this is what I want fans to understand. I literally have zero connection to Tease Tabor. I don't follow him on no social media because that's what you do when you like players. I don't like him outside of it's some personal. I love Tease Tabor thing. It's not like that at all. I just feel like he has some potential. He was playing well, and I don't feel like we should give up on him early. And even after, just to prove my point to everyone, even if we do get rid of him, he goes to another team. I'll follow him and see how he does. But I just think he's a ball hawk, and he just had to work on his technique, and he just needs a chance. He definitely will play in this final game a lot, but sadly, I don't know if that will be enough for him to make. Even if he balls out in this game, gets an interception, I don't know if that will be enough for to keep him on the team because of that injury, and he couldn't play in some of those other games. But I would like him to make the team. It's gonna be tough, but I think I would like him to still make the team because Amani Warrior was looking kind of iffy out there. You know, and I know who Tabor is, but I need a little bit more comfortable for my backup. I need to be a little bit more comfortable for my backup outside corners.
I mean,
wow. Okay.
You know, you really can't complain with that. Now, TA, they're saying that the sound issues is still coming with you. They only getting every other word when it comes to you. I mean, you speak. I don't know why that's happening with just you.
Yeah,
but
maybe
they're saying they only getting every other word.
Let me check my mic.
Yeah, you going on right there.
All right, so I mean, before I get into that, man, let me just put this out there, people. MicroMike is 7 people away from having a good 700 subscribers. And my best in the eyes of the angel, sad music playing behind me with dog with the saddest eyes you ever seen voice. Can we please get this man to 701 by the end of the night? He is a cool guy, and cool people should have cool things. And one of the coolest things you can give them is subscribers. Can we get this man there? We need 7 people. And for some of y'all who go to church, y'all know how to be when that collection plate come around. We just need 7 more people, just 7 more to get to our goal to get him to 700 subscribers. Now, with that being said, the guy that I want to see make this team is linebacker Anthony Pittman from Wayne State University. I like his game. I think he can play all 3 linebacker positions, the jack, the Mike, and the wheel. I think he has that ability. I also think that he has shown enough that he deserves a chance to be on this team. Now, the player on the bubble that I think is going to get cut, but probably should make this team, in my opinion, is going to be Travis Fulgham. He has not really had a good preseason. He's had a few drops that was in very interesting times, and he seems to not be reeling it in against lesser talent. So I'm hoping he makes it. And he gets on his team. And if he does, that would be absolutely perfect because that means that we got him where we want to. Now, TA, are you back? Is everything straight or nah?
Hey,
yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you just good. Can everybody else hear him out there?
Can you guys hear me out there?
Yeah. Luke, I don't disagree with what you said about Fulgham, but I just feel like the competition is so, for lack of a better word, trash, that I still think he'll make the team because it's not like the other receivers. I mean, Powell is Powell.
Okay, good.
It's not like the other receivers are doing anything. And that leads me to believe if Fulgham comes up and plays solid, he'll still make the team just because we drafted him. The other receivers aren't really doing it.
Now, Blue and Silver says no one has played well enough to replace and cut Fulgham. That's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true for me. I think Powell has done his job to get on that team. They've already got rid of Alexander, so Dantes is gone. They are somehow in love with Lacey. Okay. I'm not neither. And Duhart has done his fair share of getting the ball and doing it. But when it came to Fulgham, he has not shown us a lot of the things that made them draft him. The ability to block in the run, the ability to box people out and make the tough catch. And I do think he's going to make it hard, but he's a guy I know is on the bubble. He just has not played well, and it's unfortunate.
Well, I won't say he hasn't played well because we go by amount of catches and stuff. None of them guys have been better.
I'm not talking about the catches. I'm talking about it's not just the catches. I'm talking
about. I'm talking about production though. He's been more productive than some of the other guys.
He's ran wrong routes. I mean, the commentators noticed it. I've noticed it. He has ran the wrong route before, and it is something that has happened before in other games. And then on top of that, there have been games where they've high pointed the ball to him, and he didn't quite go up there and climb the ladder. So there's some things that go along with it. But I'm telling you, when you even Top Tier says they love Lacey. He's a big receiver, and that's why they got him making the team. They are in love with that guy, and
why?
And I mean, they are, and then because he's a big
because this is what I have. I'm gonna say. I mean, Luke, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. I'm gonna stand by what I said. I don't think any of the other receivers. I think Powell's making this team regardless, but I don't think any of the other receivers have done enough. And with Lacy, I almost bad at the Lions because every time he catches the ball, it's no yak. Sometimes he drops passes. I don't know what they see in this dude at all. And I didn't know it last year, and I don't know it this year. I don't see anything from him. But I hope he don't make the team. I'm just being honest. I don't see anything from him like that.
I mean, and Motor City Thanos makes a very good point. That fumble was crucial. It's some little things
that you do.
And
that fumble could have done him in. But I don't know, man.
I just don't see it. I think he's on that bubble. I think he should make this team because I think he's, as a rookie, you coming in and you got some expectations. But I think the stress levels have been bothering him a little bit. And the focus, the turnovers of the ball, the drop passes with the fumble, man, it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, guys.
Well, Ramon, what are you talking about?
He said we do have a lot of.
Go ahead. No.
He said we do have a lot of wide receivers, so we're trading Marvin for Trent for Washington.
I will puke in my throat and choke on it if that happened. That's a horrible trade.
I agree with that.
And I mean, gotta say, respect on Marvin.
Played 10 games in the last 2 or 3 seasons. I think he's had a rough career with injuries. It's no way that's a trade that I would look at and be okay with. I mean, yeah, I will puke. Mike, you with me, right? You would just rather choke on your own vomit.
Yeah, that would be a terrible.
Did you see that one comment?
Marvin Jones really opens up the field, and he's a great wide receiver for Stafford to go the long ball and get the ball. If you don't have a Marvin Jones, you're depending on a bunch of other guys
and Kenny Galladay to do it all.
Not have his ability and how well he opens up the field. So that would be I would not be happy with that. Getting a player who's always injured like Ziggy Ansah for a player who's much better and it's less, even though he was injured last year, the production was there, man, and that would be a terrible move in my opinion.
I mean, I'm just going from the perspective of you get a player and you get a player in need and then you lose a player at a position in need. That doesn't make sense. Usually you get rid of a player that you don't necessarily need. We need Marvin Jones right now. So it don't make sense.
Facts.
Yeah, and I see Blue and Silver says I would trade Marvin for Clowney. I wouldn't. Clowney telling me he won $100 million. You show me
Clowney, man.
Clowney is clowning. Yeah. Show me where he got worth $100 million.
You know me, man.
Hey, so you said, Luke, so you said he's not worth $100 million?
Man, no.
I'm not saying. Look, usually I'm all on board with getting guys like Clowney. Usually I'm all on board with getting guys like Clown, like pay him. But just in my soul, as a football mind, as a fan, the thought of paying him $100 million just don't sound good to me. And I don't want us paying him $100 million. It could be some other team, but I'm definitely not giving up Marvin Jones. Like, no. But
heck no.
I mean, I just don't like it. He gets hurt. I don't like it. And to me, he didn't live up to the hype at all. He should be Aaron Donald, but he's not.
So that's correct. Now, guys, it's interesting too. Now, the quarterback David Fales, right? And they ended up picking up another quarterback from the league that got discontinued. What do you guys Perez that they picked up? Do you think that was a camp move, or what was that move that they did?
I personally
have
not,
go ahead.
I personally have not done enough research, so I'm going to defer this to you, gentlemen. I just haven't done enough research on the guy myself. Even when I watched the AFL games, it wasn't like this quarterback jumped out to me. So I kind of want to do a little bit more research and familiarize myself with it. I'm not sure who this dude is, and I ain't about pump faking people. So I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm not versed on him, but given the fact that Tom Steller's still here, I'm not too confident about him neither.
I did a actual video just about him a couple hours ago, and I know a little bit about him. So he was undrafted in 2018. From there, He was on the Rams practice. Well, he actually played in the 4th preseason game, I think 1 half. Recorded some poor numbers. I think it was like 6 pass completions to, I don't know, 12 or 13. It wasn't a whole lot, and he had 1 interception. And then he played obviously for the AAF, as well as going on, I think it was the Eagles practice squad, then got released. What I think he is, though, I think he is the game changer. He's the guy that's going to take – no, I'm just joking, man. I just think he's just going to be – he's a preseason guy, and that's it. He won't be on the team much longer. But he is young, and he is eligible for the practice squad. So if he shows anything at all while they're training or practicing, they can throw him on there. But he's not making the roster. We're going 2 quarterbacks, and that does not include him.
Well, Mike, that is a good
Mike just said it all, man. This guy's trash. Like, and I'm saying that because I'm going by every measurable. I'm going by every measurable from the draft status to preseason games. He wasn't even the best quarterback in the AAF. He wasn't even the best 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the AAF. It's like, no. Like, this guy is just, we got somebody so we can get rid of David Bells.
So they just got somebody off their couch and said, come on, man.
Fells, I don't know you gotta go, Fells, but
That's
you gotta
crazy,
go
man.
out of here, bro. I'd rather get this guy over here a chance. He's not making the team at all. I hope Tom Savage is back at practice, so I hope he plays because I want to see just Tom Savage, Josh Johnson. A lot of people think Tom Savage is gonna be the backup. I kind of think that too, but let's see what happens in this last game. Part of me wants Josh Johnson the ball just because he's an unknown, and then I know Savage is trash, and I don't necessarily know that Johnson is utter trash. Mm-hmm. But we'll see what happens with that situation. But come on, guys, this guy ain't making the team. Blue and Silver says Clowney is nice, man. Clowney is great. But do you guys remember the hype around Jadeveon Clowney?
When he blasted that Michigan player, we remember.
Like I said, Jadeveon Clowney was supposed to be Aaron Donald right now, and he's just a very good pass rusher. Not like I'm not minimizing him. He's a good linebacker. Like he's really good. You might even call him one of the top 10 guys in the league. But he was supposed to be that.
Myles Garrett came in and has done more than Clowney.
And I believed in Myles Garrett more when, in general, I was about to bring up Myles Garrett. I'm like, Myles Garrett's gonna be real good. Like,
definitely.
Like I like him, and he got injured a little bit. Like he got injured his first year and still had like 8 sacks. I'm like, oh my goodness,
that is crazy.
I'm like, oh my goodness, you missed like 6 games, you still had 8 sacks, bro. I'm like, So but I'm not with Clown.
And I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, I don't know much about the quarterback. I don't, but I watched all them games, and I can't tell you that this guy jumped out to me. I don't remember him jumping out. I remember some other players jumping out, but they all got picked up already. He was not one of those guys that jumped out. But again, it goes back to that point earlier about here's David Fells, who came out game 2, played well, game 3, and he still got released. But this is not surprising because I knew David Fells wasn't making the team the moment they signed him. So. But again, I don't think we understand this concept of camp body. Camp body are people who are there just so we don't have to put nobody else on the field. This quarterback that they got they bringing him in to do research on him. They want to see if he is somebody that they can create a profile with and say, hey, if push come to shove, can we bring this guy in and do some things? And that's all it is. That's all it is. It's a trial by fire. So don't be surprised if you look up and he's the first name that gets cut.
Wow. And it's kind of interesting, guys. Now, do you guys think Tom Savage is going to play a lot in this game? Because, Tom went down for a minute, and now he's back. Crosby came back, and Tabor came back. So do you think you're going to see a lot of Tom Savage in this last preseason game, guys? What do you guys say about that?
Does he want a job or not? He don't have a choice, bro. You either play or you get cut. Straight up. I'm being 100.
Because I don't think we really. I'm not really sold at who's the number 2 quarterback yet.
I was just saying that we don't know. We gonna see in this game.
Yeah, we're gonna see in this game for sure. But one thing I do want to talk about the backup position. What I saw last week was a guy who literally was on the team for 2 weeks. And when he was in there, Josh Johnson was in there. He was telling wide receivers where to go and what formation was. His command of the team was far better than I actually thought. He actually threw a very well passes, fast, on target. So, yeah, I do want to see Savage play because I want to see Josh Johnson play. And I think it's possible if Josh Johnson does even better than what he did last week. Yeah, I want to see Savage play because I think Josh Johnson has the ability to take that second string quarterback position. He commanded the offense like a boss. I loved it, man. I loved how a guy who's been on the roster for 2 weeks is telling people who's been on the team so far the whole time in training camp what positions to be in. That's an insane amount of learning that quick and to tell people where to go. That's leadership, man. That means that guy had to really study hard for the last couple of weeks to do that. And he was throwing a pretty ball. So I absolutely want to see Savage play because I want to see Johnson beat him.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
To me, I figured David Fields wasn't making the team. And I'm gonna stay the same thing with Josh Johnson. He's not making the team. Tom Savage is your backup. The Detroit Lions love big arm quarterbacks because guess what sells seats? Deep passes, and you fans eat it up every year. Oh, did you see that bum? Yeah, I'm going to buy a ticket. So yeah, they're going to put in people who can get the ball down the field. And if you don't like that, then you need to start to embrace the idea of running the ball first and passing second. But in the meantime, they're going to keep David Fields because he does have a strong arm. And if you just look at that one pass where he threaded the needle to Powell, that was a very fast ball that he tossed in there. So yes, I believe he is the backup. These other guys would be put on Dr. Dirk's trying to get me in trouble.
They're gonna be on the waiver wire.
You're right, you know.
Hey, I do know, man. Perez about to come out there and have a perfect quarterback reading.
He's gonna go 10 for 10, man.
Listen, he better go 10 for 10 to get third and fourth string guys. He better go 10.
What if he came out with like 15 to 16 for 2 tubs?
I mean, if he's going to get the third and fourth string guys, I should expect to see that. But if he don't, here's the thing: he doesn't have enough time to come in and learn the playbook. So by virtue of that, he's already behind the 8 ball. He's here for research purposes.
Hey,
right.
You know.
So this guy's
not
making. So basically, this guy's not making the team. Then that's what you're saying.
No, he just scouting, man. That's one thing I do like about the Lions, and that's why I don't overreact to every single move. They scout a lot of players, and they always say that we scout a lot of players. Bob Quinn talks about his little box of scouted players, and this is what they do. They're scouting.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. And I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that for Melvin Drew, who says that's not a reason. Luke, stop it, bro. Savage showed 1 completion and concussion ain't help. 1 concussion that backup, then what?
Melvin Drew, man. Melvin Drew.
I love it. Because it's crazy. He's not saying anything crazy, but I'm just saying.
No, he ain't.
I'm just saying if you were to look at it right now, and I'm throwing the ball down the field, or I need the ball to get there on a short route, it's got to come with some heat. Fells wasn't doing that. Josh Johnson ain't doing that. And this Perez dude, I got to do more research, but if you telling me he doing it, then we might be talking something different. But I think you might agree he ain't doing it either. So I'm just saying they want somebody to put some zip on the ball. The
thing is with this, though, I like Josh Johnson, but I'll just be honest to Melvin Drew and every Lions fan. Like, I prefer Josh Johnson. I'm saying that now, but if we're the Lions, something happens. I'm not going to say the words all the way, but if something happens and, a backup is out there, who do you think would give us a higher chance to win? Josh Johnson being a game manager or Tom Savage throwing up jump balls to Kenny Golladay and Marvin Jones and TJ Hockenson? Think about it from that perspective, because when he was playing with Houston, when they protected him, he did well. But when he didn't have an O-line, he was trash, and sometimes, obviously, he missed throws. But from a playmaker's perspective, you give Kerryon 20 carry, and then you play action deep bomb from Savage. It'll probably have a higher chance of success from a winning perspective too. But I like Johnson more just because I think he's a little bit better. But I can't hate on the big arm thing. It makes sense. And when you look at our receiving core, man, makes a lot more. And our tight end core makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you gotta have a gun. Yeah, you gotta have a cannon for an arm, man. Hey, Blue and Silver says, I'm looking forward to watching Pittman and Carney in the next game. So MicroMike, what do you think about Pittman and Carney in this next game?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead, Luke.
To me, Carney, man, Carney better step it up. Carney better step it up, and he better step it up big this game, because right now he is on that bubble. You are undrafted, and you're just not. Yeah. You're not doing the basic things, like keeping outside contained. That is very concerning when it comes to Carney for me. But I believe Carney would be a practice squad candidate if he can't pull it together. Pittman, on the other hand, is somebody that I have been talking about since week one, because I really have been paying attention to this dude, and I'm like, yo, he running. And it's like he just keeps running. And I like what I see out of him. So I'm going to have an eye on him. I'm going to definitely have an eye on Carney. But it's some guys who need to step their game up, or they're going to be out. And it's just that simple. They better hurry up and get it together.
So another thing, like Trey Lamar, you know what I'm saying? I know we talked about him a little bit. Trey Lamar, what have you guys been seeing from him? Because I haven't been seeing too much from Trey Lamar. I seen him make a couple plays, but for the majority of it,
he's not on the team. He got put on IR.
He got put on IR?
Yeah.
See that? I didn't even know.
So this is what happened to you.
So we don't
when you in Arizona and you sad trip and leave Detroit. This is what happened. When you start chasing that heat dream,
this is what happened.
This is what happens.
No, but with Pittman, I never I paid attention to him a little bit, never overrated or underrated him. But with Jared Davis going down, he might make the team now. Before that, I didn't really see it. And I know, look, man, we all know how good Jared Davis is, but I just want to say I don't think it's gonna be as big of an effect as some people thinking. Now, if we're losing Freddie Ragnow, throw the season away. So, but so I think we'll be solid, and it might be because of somebody like Pittman and Maven and Jelani Tavai. I mean, some of the best young linebackers we've had in a minute.
Now, let me just tell you, this is one of the best comments I've seen right there. Mr. Alfred Gunther says, "Come on, y'all Lions fan, let's get the 54 likes, please. Let's turn up." Okay. Now I bet you
get those likes up, guys. Come on, guys. This is for you guys. Come on.
You be turning up. To my blast the bottle and all this other stuff. Let's get this thing going, people.
Right.
This is how we get it.
When you
get it out there.
When you come in the room, guys, we need you guys to hit the like as soon as you come in the room. We're trying to get this content put out for you guys, so make sure you guys do that.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of talk about Brian Hoyer. Let me just okay. I like Michigan State people. Me and J Mo have had these conversations, and he can assure you that I am not playing when I say I like Michigan State. Now, with that being said, people, the Brian Hoyer dream is not happening. They are going to carry 3 quarterbacks. They are going to carry 3 quarterbacks. And the reason for that is because Belichick knows better. He was trying to carry 3 quarterbacks before he was forced to make a trade to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. And what did he do? He says, okay, I'm going to give him away for nothing since y'all trying to show me, and then y'all going to learn to get out of my way and let me do my job. And then they did. With that being said, they're going to carry 3 quarterbacks. And if they do release Brian Hoyer for any reason, I don't want him on my team at all. If you tell me Brian Hoyer comes with Bill Belichick, then by all means sign him. But if he does not, please leave him where he at. Please.
I'm gonna completely disagree with that. If Brian Hoyer is available,
okay.
I'm taking Brian Hoyer, especially over Tom Savage, in a heartbeat.
I would too.
I think he can run an offense better, and it's just simple with these average and trash quarterbacks. What they need is the perfect situation, which is protection and a running game with talent. You telling me Brian Hoyer come over here and things happen and we're protecting him and carry on and still running 5 yards a carry? I have much more confidence that he could win 3 out of 5 games than Tom Savage any day of the week. And I want that young quarterback they got, Jared Stidham or whatever, but I'll definitely take Brian.
He ain't going nowhere. Come on now.
You know how I like Michigan State, so you already know it.
Listen, all I'm saying to you is this. All I'm saying to you is this. All right. Who called up the New England Patriots for trades for Brian Hoyer? I'll wait. No one. No one. No one.
Nobody knew.
No one, man. People need a quarterbacks bad last year. Nobody called New England for Brian Hoyer.
Nobody.
Brian Hoyer, before he got to New England, didn't even look that good. Man, y'all better stop playing. Y'all keep lying.
They played for the same team. He looked better than Savage did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was about to say, those are facts. You can't refute that. They played the same team. He looked better than Savage did.
All I know is this: that ball got to have some zip, man.
Yeah, it do. It truly do. Hey, this question right here, I want to give it.
On that ball, though.
I want to give this question, the next question, guys, to MicroMike. Mike, James Willis says in the chat, yeah, how long do you have to be in concussion protocol before this is more serious?
Concussions are unpredictable. I've heard of some people having concussions and it going away and coming back on its own. It happens.
I got actually a really good perspective when it comes to concussions.
Yeah, I've never had one, thank God, but I've heard the horror stories of them. And so to me, the longer you are in concussion protocol, the chances is your career is probably going to be over, because the NFL took a crap load of stuff for this concussion stuff. So they're going to put you out if you can't get it together by a certain time. So my guess would be anywhere between 3 to 4 weeks. But I'll do some research and get the right answer for you, James.
Hey, so here, when it comes to concussions, it's actually different for every single person. It's different for the amount of time someone's had a concussion, and the variables are simply just different. Now, my wife had a concussion. She was feeling horrible for about a week. It took a week for it to actually kind of get out of the system where you're starting to feel normal. But my daughter had a concussion, and she was dealing with the issues. It's been a couple months now. She has to wear special glasses to get her head straight. She has headaches watching videos. And so it is all different for every single person. In his case, now it looks like Savage had, 4 or 5 concussions already. So since he's very successful, he's the ability of getting more concussions more than other people. His situation is more dire and different than from someone that has had one or less. Because you got to think, look, when you have a concussion and you get them more, it's easier to get concussions because your brain is bouncing off your skull, and it gets worse every time you do it. So that's another issue when they thinking about Savage is, should he be on the team due to his concussion issues?
No.
Because, look, if Matthew Stafford goes down and then Savage is in there and he gets another concussion, that could hurt our team, man. And we could be going for a running back to do the quarterback position through that game. I mean, the guy literally was in 1 or 2 plays and he got a concussion already. So you got to look at that as well. I mean, we think of Javed Best. His career basically ended due to concussion. So it's all different. The variables are completely different for each type of person. Body weight, mass, the amount of times they get hit, the ability how they take hits. So it's all different for each person.
I'm sorry, Mike. Lions Lee said, Jesus, Mike, stop playing football with your family.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Lions Lee, you say he telling them to line up and he practicing stuff on them.
Blue lady.
Giving them the Kerryon Johnson stiff arm. They walking up, daddy, stiff arm.
Stiff arm right down the stairs.
Omaha 20. Omaha 20.
That is hilarious. He say stop playing football. But yeah, I think when it comes to concussions, it's an unpredictable thing. It really is. I have seen people get concussions from the smallest things, like riding a horse and their head just bobbling too much. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. So
I like the comment. Hey, somebody want to read the comment that's on the screen?
It says, would y'all pick up Kenny Stills if he's released? Ooh, no. Kenny still comes with a certain price tag, and we have a little money.
Yeah.
The question will become: can Kenny Stills unseat the young guys who are cheaper?
Right.
Well, I think he could, but
I mean, he probably could, but then the question becomes: you're going to pay a different price tag for that.
yeah, I don't like the money, but I like him as a receiver. I do. I think he's he's a B-level receiver, but I like him. But it's the price tag that's the issue. If we could hash that out somehow, yeah, like that would take our receiving core to another level. But I don't think that'll be hashed out in that type of thing.
Well,
but
hey, I can tell you this much. I can tell you this much, man. I, for one, is when I look at it, I'm always thinking of the money. And the reason I think of the money is because when you have cap in the regular season and stuff go wrong, you can still make moves. A lot of teams don't have that ability. And when something goes wrong, they in panic mode. Don't believe me, go talk to the Rams, because the Rams had free agents that they could have picked up, but they was strapped because they tried to buy themselves a championship and it didn't work.
I mean, no, it would have worked if they had a quarterback.
Well, I mean, the Rams.
Hey, let's be 100, man. If the Rams had Nick Foles from last year, if the Rams had Nick Foles from the previous year, they win the Super Bowl. Facts. Like,
hey, I'm just saying. And what up, though?
I mean, this guy have been Jared Goff have been playing pretty excellent all throughout the season, though.
Until what? Until what, guys? No. Until he ran into the Lions. No, until he ran into the Lions. He was playing great. Ran into the Lions and been playing ever since.
Did they beat us or did they beat us?
No, they beat us because Aaron Donald was the best football player in the NFL. That's why.
Because he kept getting in.
That's not why we lose. Jared Goff played horrible in that game. Aaron Donald destroyed us at the fourth quarter. Like, you can't do nothing about that. But,
okay.
I did want to talk about one thing. Michael Lombardi. He has a podcast, and in the podcast, he said that the Lions, it's a sure bet. The safest bet in the league is to bet the Lions to get the number 1 overall pick. It's safe to bet the under. He said the Snacks Harrison contract was horrible because we paid him $11 million for 1 year, which we didn't. He said the Trey Flowers contract was horrible. No, let me go. Like, I got to lay out everything he said. He said
I got a video coming about it, so go ahead.
Right, he was horrible. Nobody pays him $19 million. I guarantee you, a lot of teams would have paid him more than that. And then he said that Stafford is injured. He's not healthy. He's gonna get hurt. He said Matt Patricia is a terrible coach, and he said we'll be the worst team in the NFL. So that's a lot of stuff to take in now. But it's a lot. He said the general manager.
Yeah,
he said the general manager told him that Stafford was hurt.
Yeah. Let me get this one first, and then I think Mike should come off of this. I think Mike gonna share a lot of my sentiments.
Man, I got a lot to say too.
Okay.
Man.
I got a lot to say in a little time to say.
First thing first is, who is Michael Lombardi? Let's start off with that first statement. Who is Michael
Former
Lombardi?
general manager. That's all I know.
Okay.
I don't even know the guy. I've never heard of him.
How does Michael Lombardi come out and say that the Lions are going to have the first overall pick? And then in his attempt to destroy said first overall pick, his excuse for it, he does not mention any of the things we upgraded or got better at. He just simply goes into talking about it's a safe bet to take the under. The under on 6.5. That's what he wants you to do. Now, I'm not going to say that Michael Lombardi is a betting man who probably has some type of money in the casino, but he showed doing a lot of spending a lot of time trying to bring down the Lions.
Yeah, he said our roster was trash.
I mean,
he said.
Yeah, he said that we couldn't compete with the division. He said that that when you look at it, Matthew Stafford is still hurt, even though he took a number of hits in a preseason game and popped right back on up. I mean, he said a lot of things. But here's the real problem that I have with Mr. Michael Lombardi. It's simply this. Who in the NFL is talking to you, bro? He talking about somebody woke him up in the middle of the night and told him this stuff. Who called you from the Lions and told you that they just couldn't wait to tell you that? And then for you to be dumb enough to believe it without doing any research, because whoever this person was, they just couldn't wait. They had to tell you. Well, newsflash, Michael Lombardi, Stafford's going to start week 1. Lions are going to win that game. Lions are going to beat the San Diego Chargers. They're going to start the season off at least 3-1. So with that being said, with that being said, why would it be a safe bet to take the under? I mean, he act like we don't play the like we don't play the Raiders. We don't play the Bucks. We got it's, come on, man. We play the Giants.
Right.
Look here, man.
Redskins.
Look here. Michael Lombardi is absolutely the reason why the NFL has concussion protocols.
Oh man, no.
Oh my
It
god.
messes your brain up. You don't think clearly, and man, you're out of it. You're out of it. So this
Hey,
is go ahead.
Hey, Mike, you remember that commercial? This is your brain on drugs.
Put it in the frying pan.
I think
no, but when they say this is your brain on drugs, they don't show a brain, they just show a picture of Michael Lombardi. This is your brain on drugs.
Man.
Michael Lombardi. Go ahead, Mike.
Folks,
Go
do
ahead,
not
Mike.
take bath salts.
Make sure you guys like the video, guys.
You end up like Michael Lombardi.
Get them likes up, guys.
I mean, seriously, like this dude literally just was making up stuff as he go. He the same person who was praising TJ Hawkinson from here to high water. And then the minute the Lions took him, he gonna say, oh, they could have did so much better. And I'm like, Michael Lombardi, please shut up. Okay,
you want to talk about
he ain't been right about nothing. Adam Schefter's been more right. Ian Rappaport's been more right. What has Michael Lombardi been right about? He makes Eric Mangini look like Bill Belichick. What is going on with this dude and his commentary?
Eric Mangini, when I see him on show, I just think people don't like Eric because he's real. He's 100% real with it. But anyway, with Michael Lombardi, man, this guy said our roster was trash. Once he said that, like everything was surprising to me. But when he attacked the roster, I'm like, really? Like this Lions team? Like the team with Trey Flowers and Mike Daniels and TJ Hawkinson and Jesse James and Darius Slade, Quandre Davis and Stafford and Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones on it. With Matt Prater, the best kicker in the league, Agnew, a top 4 returner in the league at work. Like, are we this team? The one thing this team isn't devoid of is talent. It's something that we have talent. We just got to put it out there. And you can tell he hates the Lions. What you said about TJ Hawkinson. I mean, I want to get into TJ Hawkinson later, but TJ Hawkinson is loved by the media, and coming to the Lions did not stop that.
Yeah, but Michael Lombardi. This is
Michael Lombardi.
a former like he done
NFL
something.
network analyst.
Man, anybody can be an analyst, dog. Stop it. Ryan Hollins as an analyst. Come on, bro.
Hey, we analysts.
I'm just saying.
I mean, but we smart.
But we're not analysts with concussions. Yeah. Mike is right. It's got to be the reason for the concussion protocol because he sounds ridiculous. He comes out the gate off rip. He first made comments talking about something. He got word that if this thing goes south, they clean the house with the Detroit Lions. Everybody gone from top to bottom. Who is talking to you, Michael Lombardi? I mean, who is the security guard at the gate? Who is this person giving you the inside scoop? You got all these sources on the Lions, but don't even know what's going on. Come on, bro.
I definitely got to get your take on this, and Mike even more elaborate. But the one thing about this whole thing that made me the most upset was him attacking Stafford, basically trying to tell Lions fans, you have no hope. Stafford's injured.
Yeah, he was saying that. That's crazy.
I think injured players play like how they played preseason game 3. And as I said before, I watched that because the game is on YouTube. If you subscribe to the right channels. The full game was on YouTube. I watched it twice on top of watching it live. Stafford was looking exceptionally good. I didn't expect him to move that well in the pocket. Like he was really moving. I'm like, so this is the guy that's injured? I got fans telling me they watched Stafford work out, and he looks completely healthy. Stafford says he's completely healthy, but he got back issues.
Well, let me ask you a question. What's the name of that movie? And they made like 1,000 GIFs off of it, where it's the guy from The Hangover, and he just started laughing like. That's what Matthew Stafford did when Michael Lombardi said that he hurt. He's like, well, I'll be damned. I didn't know he was my doctor.
Right. You know? I had no idea.
I didn't know this.
No, but we got Nomis in the lobby. But Yeah, man, Mike, man, what you think about this? You heard me, Noble? Yeah. All right, Mike, what you think about this, man?
Yeah.
Look, man, Michael Lombardi is my favorite commentary individual who brings hashtag facts. Said nobody. Next question.
Hey, we got
Right.
Noble Day in the building, man.
He said a
You
bunch
know,
of
like,
nothing.
What's going on, Nomis? Now, Buzz Spray
But
say, Luke, you going to be a TV? If I was a TV analyst, they wouldn't like me because I'm gonna be too blunt. They're gonna be the dude in my ear, like, go to commercial. You gonna say he's the greatest player?
I feel like Luke would be the other version of Rod Parker, man, because he would be saying all this crazy stuff. He'd be like, man, like, Luke, I'm not saying you would say this, but he'd be like, man, Ezekiel Elliott not even that good. You know, like, you just say all types of stuff. You know what, man? Carson Wentz.
And people will call me crazy until I can prove it.
Be like, when you look at the Cowboys' history, and you look at what DeMarco Murray was doing, they gonna be looking at you like, bro, you crazy.
I'm just telling you, man. It's always something, man, where somebody say something so crazy that it makes you have to question, who are you talking to? Like, is it the janitor? Did he find a folder with notes in it? I mean, what happened? Tell me who you talking to.
No, my thing is,
yeah, why you gotta be showing janitor prejudice, Luke?
no, my thing is when Mike Valenti released this, they had Mike Valenti questioning if he was insane or not. He's like, am I like dumb? Do I not know nothing about football? For thinking the Lions are gonna win more than 6 games, they had people thinking they were stupid because they stupid. You can't let the stupid get on you, man. But no, Miss, man, what you think about this horrible take by Mike Lombardi?
It's basically like how you used not to get political. It's like talking to Sarah Palin. You can have a stupid person in front of you, so it don't rub off on you. You know what I mean? That's basically.
What?
Boy, went for Sarah Palin neck, bro.
You can't talk to them directly. You can't. No, seriously, Michael Lombardi, Mike Lynch, you can't talk to them directly in face. You start losing. You start acting like you had a stroke because your words will start slurring real funny and this. They don't know nothing they talking about. I mean, this is the same organization that say, "Hey, take Wade Stafford, get somebody who's half as talented for his arm, and he can win your Super Bowl." And there was no proof of it because the team went 4-12, and then a rookie comes in and goes like 10-6. Like, these are the same guys that tell you that every time. Like, they'll say, "Get rid of Stafford for RG3." Then RG3 gets hurt, then they'll bash. They don't know nothing. They see it's free power policy. That's what I call it. They got the power to sit there and talk and abuse the policy all day because they get to sit there and no people are going to listen to them because they're on the radio, so they get to say what they want without no repercussions. That's why I call it free power policy. And to me, that's why we're here. That's why we're here, because I'm sick of feeling stupid when I listen to them. Like, every time I listen to them, I throw up and I get a pain in my mouth, and that hurts every time it reacts to it, and I got to take a pill.
See? I mean, I put it this way. And George Morgan pointed out best. He says, how bad is it when Mike Valenti defended the Lions behind this ridiculous statement?
Exactly.
I just failed.
Like, you got Mike Valenti thinking he's crazy.
We got Bravo Mo in the building. What up, though? Welcome to the show.
Oh, what's good, Bravo? What it do, man?
Hey, Bravo.
Segment guys to ask us the questions too. So make sure you get your questions in there.
Yep.
Noble, what do you? Why? When you hear your opinion on this, Noble?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Ask the question, J-Mo. It's all good.
Well, I have no opinion, J-Mo, because I don't even know.
All right, man. I got it.
If I knew a little bit more about it,
I got a better question for you. ESPN did a top 100 players that are going to have a great season in 2019, and there was only one Lion on it, and he was number 100, and his name was Darius Slay. How do you feel about the fact that the NFL don't think any of our players are basically going to play great in 2019? They just put Slay on there, but they just did that as a token. He was number 100, man.
I don't. You know what? I don't care about people's lists. Some of their lists are just dumb. There's no validity to it. There's no logic behind it. It's just something to do. People they they get they panties and
I
underwear
told-
over
No.
where they people are ranked, and it's not even that serious.
It's not even that, Luke. What it is, it's like when you used to call a girl ugly all the time, but low key because you liked her. That's what they're doing. They want to treat us bad and put us on the bottom of the bottom because they're afraid. They're afraid they know we're gonna be better than that. You just say? No, I was saying the way the NFL is doing that, like these analysts, they're doing that because it's like when you were growing up, you liked a girl, and a girl liked you, and they like pick at you all day and do little stuff trying to make you mad, but low key is because they like you. That's what it is. They hate that we're going to be good this year, so they want to try to down our spirits by like doing little petty, picky stuff to increase their rate. They know it's bold to put just one player from the Lions. You know you're going to have at least 3. I'm surprised they didn't just put Matt Prater on the list instead of all the people. They knew that would have been crazy, but that's what they're doing. They're trying to spirit us and hope and put fear in the minds of you thinking that they're not going to be better because they hoping to God that it's true that we are going to suck because they know their ratings going to go down. It's just fear of what's going to happen.
But I'm not
Shout out to Bravo Mo 1982. He dropped the $4.99 in the super chat.
Shout out to Bravo.
Shout out to Bravo. Shout out.
And he also dropped a comment that says, "Great, best ever show." We appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I just
my thing is it's levels to the disrespect, man. Like saying that we gonna be the number 1 overall pick. Like when you know the Lions, I don't care what you think about us. We got more than one player that's gonna be in the top 100 players theoretically. We got more than one, and he was the last player, so he might as well not even been on the list. It's just wow.
Mm-hmm. Just moronic.
I mean, it's irresponsible because what it does is this. Everybody else is talking about Andrew Luck. What does Michael Lombardi do? Let's talk about the Lions. What the hell is wrong with you? Get on board with the rest of your peers and talk about some important stuff. Because right now you're seeing a lot of baseless stuff that has nothing to do with nothing. Yeah. And I know that people are going to say, well, you're not on the inside. How do you know? He said we're going to have the first overall pick. Has anybody seen the Dolphins, the Giants? I can go down a list of teams or the Cardinals. You telling me we worse than all of them? All of them.
Right. We bet, they got us like that, man. They think we the doormats of the NFL, man.
I mean, you would say that they had us going 3-13.
It's just one of them things, man, where if you're going to Shannon Sharp looks like the donkey off Winnie the Pooh. I'm just saying, if we want to, again, people, this is the portion where you ask us questions and we will answer them. So
feel free to ask us whatever you guys want to ask us.
But I'm just saying, if you're going to come out the gate with this absurd statement, like I can't do a quick glance and see that that's a load of baloney, you got to be kidding me. If he'd have said they're going to have a top 10 pick, I'd have been like, all right, okay, he might just be feeling confident about himself, whatever. He said the first overall pick and that we were taking a quarterback or something like that. I'm like, bruh,
that's what you do when you're looking for attention, man. I told you, it's like the old looking for attention. You say,
it gotta be. It gotta be.
Yeah, apparently, you get attention when you mention the Lions name. But until we get a question, I did want to talk about T.J. Hawkinson. Okay. Because, we know how well he's been playing, but as I was alluding to earlier, the national media, they love T.J. Hawkinson. And I just think it's very unusual because no Lions players get any type of love. When you got, with Coach Brian Billick doing a whole little segment on, TJ being a tight end and it's on NFL Network. You like what? And I see a lot of other people talking about TJ and how great he's gonna be and how good he is, and it's just very unusual how they on this TJ Hawkinson bandwagon.
Well, before we dive into that, we getting some questions in the chat. We want to make sure we can address.
Got one on the screen now for.
One of the questions that popped up is if Stafford wins the Super Bowl, is he an automatic Hall of Famer? Yes. That's I don't gotta say if he first, second, or third ballot, but yes, that will put him in the Super Bowl because it's the Lions who won the Super Bowl.
Just because it's the Lions. But now, if we being honest,
He'll be first ballot because of his stats and
Yeah,
his
he got nothing to prove as far as stats and all that type of stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That's why people call me crazy. I'm like, man, Stafford won the Super Bowl. He's close to being to go. But
they'll probably. I'm probably wrong, but they'll probably still try to discredit like, oh, he still had the worst losing record of all time, or some mess like that. They'll
man, they ain't gonna say nothing, bro.
Wait.
Ain't gonna say nothing.
Wait. What worst losing record of all time? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Stafford's
only like,
against winning teams and all that mess and playoffs. They still gonna try to throw something at him.
Kurt Warner won the Super Bowl with the Rams, right? But his praise came from getting the Cardinals, just getting them there.
Yeah, to the Super Bowl.
That was the big thing. So I don't know if it would be anything different.
Oh, I love this question, y'all. Lions lose week 1 to Cardinals. What's the reason why? Matt Patricia, and I ain't saying nothing other than that.
Yeah,
I don't care what Stafford do. I don't care if Stafford throw 35 picks. Matt Patricia. We lose to the Cardinals. It's Matt Patricia fault. I don't want to hear anything else.
Man, you want to throw Matt on the hot seat already?
Well, I told you, if he lose that first game, he need to be fired. Straight up.
I mean, to me, I can't say the reason why until I see the game. I really want to see what happened because it could have just been players playing like crap, and I'll call each one of those players out individually if they are. But I can't say right now for sure the reason why, and I don't want to speculate. So for me, I am going to be an incomplete until they play that game, and I see why. But in my opinion, they can't win by 7 without me being pissed off. They need to be a double-digit win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I told you we supposed to be winning by 7.
Yeah, they went by 7. You're going to hear them talking real different.
I'll just throw a quick joke out there, just real quick. What if the Cardinals are tricking? What if the Cardinals are actually tricking everybody right now, they're showing this college playbook right now, and then they come to regular season and look way different?
It doesn't.
Tricking no damn. But it's the NFL.
I don't think they're gonna trick nobody though. They coming with the air raid offense, man.
No, I'll say this. It's one player that was able to trick the NFL. I feel like in recent memory, and they even figured him out at the end. And I feel like it's gonna work well for them this year. What Lamar was doing with the Ravens, that's something you can't game plan for a dude running for 100 yards on you, and he's scrambling trying to throw the ball. Like it was plays, Lamar was just scrambling and getting 30 yards, and then they'll run the football down your throat and play great defense. Kyler Murray, he don't got none of that. And the only thing he could do is some type of special passing rate from an offensive perspective, but that's not nothing we've never seen before.
Right.
You know, let Kyler start getting out the pocket and running like Lamar. I'm sorry, he can't do it. But let's he start doing that. It's nothing like he's really, really fast, but like Lamar Jackson is just a different level of athlete. You know?
Yeah.
So
Lamar Jackson better throw
football.
Now let TA.
Lamar Jackson better start sliding.
He don't take direct hits at all.
TA, you gotta get on top of these questions. I'm seeing some amazing questions in here.
Yeah, I got one up for us right now. MicroMike, I want you to
direct that question to who you want to answer it, so we can get because there's some good ones popping up. But I want to touch on these.
MicroMike.
So the question,
Dominique.
So the question reads: should sports media be required to state their sources instead of being anonymous to prevent these random hot takes? No, we should not be outing individuals giving information. Look, we have the freedom of speech. We have the ability to make sure that people that are saying this stuff keeps their wishes to be not told out that way. Because look, these people, whoever is saying it, obviously don't want to get outed. And if you start outing people, then look, people are just not going to say anything, and you're not going to get any rumors. You're not going to get any back talk from players saying they don't like Aaron Rodgers' situation with the Green Bay Packers. No one would be talking on the team that, you know, they're dislike what's going on. So no, I don't believe in outing sources. I think it's imperative that if they want their wishes to be kept unheard, then to keep their wishes unheard.
Okay. All right, next question we got. That's a good question, and good response, MicroMike. Next question, blue and silver. Lions take out Mahomes and A. Rodgers. True or false? Nomis J.
I'm gonna go ahead and say true. Due to the fact of the matter, these are two of the quarterbacks I think they're gonna everybody's gonna speculate us not to have a chance against, specifically Mahomes, because of how you had. However, if Rodgers is healthy, they're also going to throw him, of course, because of Green Bay. I do believe we'll take them out this year. I just feel like right now, although we're going to start off slow and make adjustments as we go along, I think we'll run the ball more than good enough, and I think the defenses on both those teams are just not good enough. And I think if we can run the ball properly, they'll have no chance. Maybe close games, but we'll still win.
Okay, I'm looking in the chat right now, Nomis, because I had to ask for clarification. And that's the one I want to talk about. They talking about when they take out, they mean, do you think we're going to injure Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, no.
So I think we're going to injure Aaron Rodgers, though, and I'm not just saying that. I just think that's going to happen. Like, Patrick Mahomes is a great O-line. He looks durable. I don't think we're going to – and he's very great at scrambling. I don't think we're going to injure Mahomes. We could beat Mahomes. I don't think we're going to injure Mahomes.
But you know what, though?
Aaron Rodgers is fragile, man.
But you know what, though? Like I told you, I don't know if I told you or Man Beach, but I was saying this. That's one sack can take you out, but it's got to be when you're not expecting it. It's a surprise hit. Sometimes when you get hit from behind, you didn't see it coming. Your body defenses kind of are not. It's triggered the same way when you kind of somewhat expecting it. So, like you're saying, Rodgers is fragile, partially due to now because he's older and he's always been injury prone. But Mahomes, he may be healthy as not, but if he get hit in an area he wouldn't expect to get hit in, that he can be injured in that one play. The Lions just do that to a lot of quarterbacks from 11 the same way.
Man, he on the Madden cover. He in for a rough year.
I'm telling you, Mahomes gonna break that curve.
Once he got on that Madden cover, things have changed. And listen, Troy Polamalu thought he was gonna break it. He got on there with Larry Fitzgerald. They both had problems. So I'm just telling you, that Madden cover is something to it. But this is a question I love by Tyler. He says, "Is Jelani really ready to start, or will this stunt his growth with too much pressure?" Oh my God, let me just get into this really quick. Yes, he is ready to start. He has progressively shown that he's picking it up faster and faster and getting better and better. Not to mention he's a fundamentally sound player, but would it stunt his growth? No. He was brought in just for this reason alone, to be able to be plug and play. And so what I expect to see from him is a guy who will make few mistakes but more plays. Is he going to be shut down? Is he going to be shut down in coverage? Nah. But is he going to be a huge asset in the run and being able to streamline the short passes? Absolutely. And to me, that will not stint his growth, because I don't think he's going to feel any pressure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jelani and TJ. With Jelani Tavai, no. He was a born leader. And he's always been that way. And when Jared Davis wasn't out there, he was looking normal. And my main thing is, this is about Tavai. And I'm going to just harp on the fact that Bill Belichick called him special. And ever since then, Tavai been balling out. Man, I don't know. I think Tavai is a really, really, really special player. And I'm thinking on the lines of like a Darius Leonard from last year. I'm not saying the numbers. I'm talking about the effect on the game. I think Tavai is going to be great, and that's the main reason why Jared Davis, losing him, it doesn't affect me as much as it would, because I know we have Tavai and some other guys.
Yeah, they can fill in, until you get back.
It's going to be so great. I think he's going to end up being the most surprising player from this draft.
When it comes to Tavai, look, there's just players that are naturally gifted, natural, fast learners. When you look at players throughout the Lions' history, you got Ndamukong Suh, he was a day one starter. It was natural for him. You have Calvin Johnson, same way. There's just players out there that are naturally, the game's not too fast for them. They learn quickly. They have a work ethic that is beyond the average. They're outliers because they're naturally gifted in all these different areas. When you look at Tavai, he's got that. When he's out there, he's not thinking too much. He's simply reacting. When it comes to a lot of players, when they go in the NFL, they first have to think about it. They have to understand the philosophy. They have to understand the scheme. They have to understand these little things. When it comes to Tavai, he's for whatever reason, it's natural to him. He doesn't need to learn these. It's like he already knows it. So all he got to do is be thrown in the fire and learn how the NFL works. Other than that, he's good to go. He's a day one starter.
And And I think that makes sense, Mike. I think that makes a lot of sense that he's a plug and play player, and Melvin Drew makes the very best point of it all. He has yet to play in front of our starting D line. Yeah, and look what he's doing.
Took it right out of my mouth.
Yeah,
and look what he's doing.
Yeah,
so
that's with the big dogs.
The Darius Leonard type year, because behind this D line, it's all that space he gonna have to roam free, and that's why I know we wish Jared Davis was here with him. But when Jared Davis come back, man, I'm telling y'all, linebackers are gonna.
Just that now he got a little bit of help too, because you got Devin Kennard out there who's gonna be help getting after the pass out there, help supporting pass rush as well, and then. Now it's time for somebody else to step up out there, so he won't be out there alone. It's not like when Jared Davis first started here and he was basically by himself. So he'll have a lot more assistance, better off than when Davis started his first year.
Absolutely. Okay, and Motor City Thanos says, out of all the teams we play, which one is a team you think we will beat that would be considered shocking? I'm Denver. Denver. Okay, I'm gonna say Kansas City. If we can beat Kansas City and slow down that receiving core that they got, because I saw a photo the other day of Tyreek Hill saying that they got a starting 5 receiving core. So we better be ready, because most of those receivers that they got is pretty fast. And we already know what the cheetah brings to the game. Somebody, I guess Darius Slay gonna have to cover him, man. But this guy is lights out. I think if you're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, you better look at what the Patriots was able to do to Tyreek Hill in the Super Bowl to be able to slow him down. They pretty much had a guy covered, and they had a guy over top, huh?
Not Super Bowl, AFC Championship game. You said
AFC, yeah.
You want to make sure we on.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the Lions can do that though, because they did something to Tyreek Hill that I've only seen people do to Calvin Johnson. He was triple teamed. A lot of those plays.
Double team. Yeah, he's
not double team. He was triple teamed on a lot of these plays. I'm serious. I'm like, why are there 3 guys over there? Bill Belichick was like, I don't care if Travis Kelce get 500 yards. Tyreek Hill ain't beating me today.
Right. He took him out the game.
I would be more worried about Kelce, because I don't know who's gonna cover him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to worry about Kelce, and now this other the rookie guy that got Miko Hardeman. You got to worry about him as well too. Well, they saying he got Tyreek Hill speed too.
Well, here's the thing, and Miko Hardman is fast. Don't get it. I watched that kid. That
dude is fast.
But I can tell you this much right here, man. One of the things I saw Jelani do, and it just warmed my heart. it lit my spirit up. I watched when as soon as somebody came in the vicinity of Jelani, he popped him. He pushed him or something. He gave him some type of nudge to get him off their route, to just let it be like, hey, you're not getting this ball. In fact, the first game against Texans, the tight end came off and he just shoved him. Just a small, simple shove. Quarterback had to turn and go somewhere else. I expect there's going to be a lot of that going on to shut down the tight end. Like Kelce, just giving him a shove to get him off his route, and having cornerbacks and other safeties come up to cover him. So expect for people like Will Harris and a few other safeties to come up and cause him some problems. But for the most part, tight ends ain't going to be able to run free on the Lions, although they have been able to do it on this backup squad. And the defensive line has not been out there. We still have yet to see Trey Flowers. And that is interesting. But again, a lot of other teams have not played people. Aaron Rodgers has not played in the preseason. So
yeah. So just asking that question, MicroMike and the rest of you guys, pretty much whoever want to answer it. Who is there any other team that you guys see that you would like to see the Detroit Lions win against besides me saying the Kansas City? Is it somebody else out there that you guys want to see?
The Eagles, because that's a game that I think they're going to lose. You're on the road against the Eagles after being at home against the Chargers, and if you go out and you beat the Eagles and you do it handily, and now you've already beaten the Cardinals and you're 3-0. Hell, if you lose to Kansas City, people still gonna forgive you. You're 3-1. Not many people are picking you to beat them anyway. Although I am picking them to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. But if you beat the Eagles, I believe that you start off 4-0 because I believe you can beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
The Dallas Cowgirls. That's what I want to see.
The Cowboys?
No doubt.
Cowgirls. No, he said Cowgirls. Don't put the boy on. He said girls. He's disrespecting.
I want to see.
I call him a
I want
cowbell
to see.
too. I hear what he said.
I want to see Skip Bayless cry. I want to see the media fall apart. I want to see Jerry look out there like he's about to have a heart attack.
Jerry.
I want to see. I want to see Kerryon Johnson and Ty Johnson run all over him. This is the team I want to see beat because we always have close matches, and they beat us last time. And I really am tired of the Dallas Cowgirls. They're always talked about 24/7, and I want to see a Lion literally just rip up that Cowgirl and destroy that team this year because I'm tired of hearing about them.
Yeah, I definitely want to beat that.
Well, I mean, of course, the Cowgirls is the team I want to beat the most, but I feel like if we, I won't say a singular game, but if we beat the Bears both times, because although I think the Bears will take a step back, I don't think I'm not 100% sure at what point in the season they'll take a step back, but they will. But I think if we beat the Bears, otherwise it'll be Kansas City. But I told Lions fans call me, a little bit too optimistic, but I'm gonna say it again. We start off 4-0, we're gonna end up 8-0. That's all I'm saying. I had us losing to the Eagles too, but if we beat them, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Because then we're gonna play Green Bay.
Okay, guys, it looks like we have the last question of the night, and that's by Dr. Dirks. Shout out to Dr. Dirks. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys subscribe to MicroMike, and make sure you subscribe to Luke G's Field Review, 313 JMO, and as well as Nomis J, and everybody that's in the Detroit Sports Alliance. Make sure you guys subscribe to that. But we're going to tackle the last question of the night, and we're going to give this question to Nomis J. Nomis J, the question is from Dr. Dirt. If the Lions were to win a Super Bowl, what team would you want us to beat?
Send Brady on a good night trail, because it's only befitting. It's only befitting because it's at the end of the day, it's like the greatest team supposedly in this generation versus the worst team of this generation. So I rather, if we go to the Super Bowl, I want us to go all out, beat the team that's been dominant for the last 15, 20 years now.
Yeah,
beat them, take them out. If they're destined to go back again, I want the Lions to beat them. Okay,
Luke G, what team would you like to see the Lions beat in the Super Bowl?
I'm in agreement with Nomis. It has to be the Patriots. I mean, you talking about the old coach, get to beat the master, the pupil gets to beat the master. It's a valid win that can't nobody argue. Oh, well, Stafford ain't beat nobody. He beat Tom Brady. See, Eli Manning can say that. Not many other quarterbacks can.
Right.
So
Eli Manning. Okay, MicroMike, if you taking a team, Mike, who you taking for the Lions to beat if the Lions were to make it to the Super Bowl? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go, J-Mo. Who are you taking, J-Mo?
Man, I mean, I know this is gonna sound funny, but maybe we got a vendetta against the Patriots. I like Tom Brady. As people know, he's one of my favorite quarterbacks ever, but it's the Patriots. I think that win is something that like people don't get. You don't get. Like Tom Brady don't lose, and it has to be beating Tom Brady. That's just the crowning achievement for any quarterback. This is why Eli Manning is treated like God in New York, and Nick Foles still got a statue that Carson Wentz got to look at every time he leave practice. Tom Brady. It's horrible for Carson Wentz. They need to get rid of that. That's wrong. But he beat Tom Brady, and he didn't just beat Tom Brady. He beat Tom Brady when Brady threw for 500 yards. That was one of the greatest performances we've ever seen. I would love for Stafford to have. I mean, I just want to win the game, but to have one of those kind of performances against the greatest quarterback of all time and one of the greatest coach of all time, greatest team in football history, honestly. So it'd be nice, man.
Yeah, that'd be nice to be able to beat the Patriots and see Tom Brady walk off with the sad face. I would love to see that, man. Man, these guys finally beat us, man. I can't believe Detroit has beaten us, man. That would be awesome, man.
It really would be like what happened with our Olympic team. Remember how we had that great Olympic team that we just thought could not lose, and they took that L, and we all were distraught trying to figure out like, that's who you lose to.
When they lost to Maru,
so yeah,
all the fake bandwagon fans go show their face. Oh, Brady.
No, it'd be like It'd be like when the Pistons beat the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
The Lakers was 3-time champs.
It's just rough right now because I feel like if that do happen, the first thing they're gonna say is, "But man, they beat Brady when he was old." Like Brady from here on out.
Yeah. You know they're gonna make up an excuse.
I was like, a year after Brady destroyed Sean McVay, the Wonder Boy. Yeah, stop playing with me, dog.
Is you back right now, Mike?
Yep.
MicroMike.
All right, Mike. Question to you:
Yeah.
If the Lions make it to the Super Bowl, who is the one team you want to see them beat?
Man, I'm going to go a little different route. Any team. That means we made it to the Super Bowl because I would be one happy SOB. I think if we made it to the Super Bowl, whoever we play, I want them to win. I think it'd be fun to go against the Jets and see KFC get owned by Matthew Stafford. I think that would be fun. I would love that, man, because we know what the plays will be. So I think it'd be pretty well. All we got to do is
bubble screen.
All we got to do is stop the first 2 runs, and then when they do a 9-yard pass to get a first down after 10 yards, all we got to do is put our corners at the 9-yard line. We got the game won.
Wow. Yeah.
That coach.
I see some people in the chat saying the other team I was gonna pick that I really, really wanted us to beat, and I feel like we gonna beat. I don't know. It's just a weird feeling. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, you don't. I've never said this publicly, but I can't stand Big Ben. But I think that'll be very interesting to beat a team like that because I think more people will pick us to beat probably any other team except for a team like that. They're like, oh no, the Steelers gonna wax them. But if we play the Patriots, I can see people, oh no, Matt Patricia, he's done this before and he knows all of the players. They're gonna beat them. Darrell Bevel wants his revenge. I can see them running that story.
Yeah, okay. I can see that too. Okay, guys, we've come up on the hour, guys. It's the 2 hour for us right now, and the guys are gonna have their final words, and we're gonna start off with no other than Nomis J. Go ahead, Nomis J. Let the people know what's going on with you and what you're doing.
Hey everybody, thanks again, man. I kind of came late. Kind of came in here due to a request. I just want everybody to know, man, I am going to be still trying to bring out content later on this week. It's just my health has been real up and down, so still stay with me, everybody. Subscribe to all other DSA members, including CA3, the Big Take, Positively Detroit 9701. And the fellas on here with me, and may God bless everybody in the chat.
Support.
All right. Yeah, that's what's up. That's all. Next guy got a MicroMike. What's up, Mike? Talk to the people. Let them know what's going on with you.
Folks, thanks for staying in the chat and enjoying the Lions talk. Again, I always feel humbled when all you guys literally for 2 hours will sit here and listen to us talk Detroit Lions football. Absolutely love it. Folks, we got a lot of good stuff coming forward when it comes to the Detroit Sports Alliance. So keep your head in the game. Keep your ear low because we are going to continue to bring quality product and continue to evolve and give you the best product that we can. And with that said, adios.
All right, next man up, no other than the heart of the city, 313 J-Mo. Let the people know what's going on with you, Jay.
What's up, everybody? This was a great show as always, man. There's always some interesting stuff to talk about. If you want to hear about Zack Zenner, I got a video on Zack Zenner and another video talking about this Mike Lombardi thing. Mike Lombardi is one of the biggest Lion haters in Lion hater history. He deserves to go in the Hall of Fame for that soliloquy he tried to do. Matthew Stafford is healthy. I'm not doubting it. Zack Zenner farewell, and I feel like more moves are to be made. It will be some more interesting cuts happening. But all in all, man, I just want the team to stay healthy and get back 100% healthy because I think that's going to be huge for us this season, even in those first 4 games. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man.
Yep, we appreciate you all. And last and least, the field journal himself, Mr. Luke G. What's up, Luke? Let him know what's going on.
Hey,
with
first
you.
of all, I always like to do. I like to thank you fellas for being on, man, and holding it down for me as I was helping my girl give birth to my second son. So healthy,
Congratulations again.
yeah, appreciate
Congratulations.
Yeah, healthy 8-pound, 5-ounce boy, man. I don't know how she did that one, but she did. So shout out to her for that, and shout out to you guys for being so patient while I handle life and get back to it. But most importantly, man, you guys are the real MVP. We got 61 likes on this video. I know we're going to get more. Just want to show y'all the appreciation for that. I am going to be producing some more content. Like I said, I was dealing with childbirth, a little bit different beast. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with this great piece of advice. Don't be no chump, please. Please do your research.
So, all right, guys, that is like to thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate everybody. Shout out to everybody that's rocking out with the DSA family. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a cousin, mother, sister, brother, mother-in-law. Tell them that DSA is here. Tell them that DSA is here. And definitely, man, we want to give you guys continuously to give you guys what you need on your Lions, on your Detroit Lions football. And I do got more content coming out, guys, on the NFL. So make sure you guys subscribe to each and every member that's a part of the DSA. And I like to say, guys, I got a saying that I like to say at the end of the show, and you guys should at the end of the show. So I'm gonna say it right now. We like to say to you, good morning, good evening, and good night. Peace.
Ladies, I am known as the nominator.